On Christmas Day, my son and his wife gave me their gift. An envelope. Inside $485 avowed $0 worth of their debt, and a pen. Colin looked at the floor. Tessa leaned forward, her smile sharp. Sign it before New Year's, Jeff. It's what family does. I smiled back, took the pen, and gave them my gift. When Tessa opened that red box, she screamed. Colin just stared. You won't believe what was inside. Before I tell you what was in that red box, let me know. Where are you watching this from, and what time is it right now? My name is Jeff Brennan. I'm 65, retired insurance fraud investigator. Widower, my wife, Ellen, died of cancer 5 years ago. I live in a renovated craftsman home in Washington Park. Quiet street, hardwood floors, front porch, where I drink coffee most mornings. It's paid off. My retirement is comfortable. Pension savings, no debt. Then 2.5 years ago, my son Colin moved back in. He's 36. Brought his wife Tessa with him. She's 34. Beautiful smile. Always charming. Just temporarily, Dad, Colin said. Until we get on our feet. That was 30 months ago. They're still here. I cover the utilities. $300 a month. Property taxes $4,500 a year. Homeowners insurance. Groceries. Over $35,000 so far. But it's family, right? You help family. Colin said they were between opportunities. Tessa was building her online business. I believed them. I wanted to believe them. My instincts told me something was off. I ignored them. That was my mistake. I stood in the hallway laundry basket, heavy in my arms. Tessa's voice carried through the door. She was on the phone, laughing that laugh she uses when she's gotten away with something. Paige, it's perfect, she said. We'll frame it as helping family. Jeff won't say no. You know how he is duty, responsibility, all that. I couldn't move. $485,000, the whole thing. We frame it as co-signing, but really we're transferring the liability. Dad's got the credit score, the house equity. Banks love guys like him. Stable, boring, predictable. Predictable. The word hit like a fist. By New Year's, we'll have it signed. Then we can finally breathe. Maybe even that Aspen trip we wanted. Her voice dropped. Honestly, he owes us. We've been living here 2.5 years. That's worth something, right? The basket slipped. I caught it. My heart hammered. 42 years as a fraud investigator, I knew manipulation when I heard it. I'd caught embezzlers, con artists, people who saw family as resources to exploit. I just never thought I'd need those skills in my own home. I didn't burst in, didn't confront her. I walked back down the stairs quiet as I could, set the laundry on the kitchen counter, looked at my reflection in the window. Same face as this morning. Gray hair, reading glasses hanging from my collar. But something behind my eyes had changed. This wasn't a daughter-in-law asking for help. This was a predator setting up a mark, and I was the mark. I didn't confront them. I did what I was trained to do. I watched. I waited. I started gathering evidence. That night at dinner, Tessa hummed in the kitchen cooking roasted chicken. Colin set the table without looking at me. His hands shook when he poured the water. How was your day, Jeff? Tessa asked, smiling. Interesting, I said. Very interesting. She didn't catch the edge in my voice. Colin glanced up nervous, then looked away. Colin, you feeling okay? I asked. You look tired. I'm fine, Dad. Just long day. I watched them both with new eyes. Tessa performing. Colin complicit or trapped? I couldn't tell yet. After dinner, I sat in my study, stared at the family photo on my desk. Colin at 7, gap-toothed smile, holding a baseball, back when things were simple. That night, I couldn't sleep. I lay in bed replaying Tessa's words. Perfect mark. Predictable. $485,000. By 3 a.m, I'd made my decision. Not confrontation. Not yet. First, I'd try one more time to reach my son. One last chance for honesty. December 13th arrived cold and gray. I'd give Colin one chance to tell me the truth. One chance to be the man I raised him to be. And if he lied to my face, then I'd do what I'd always done. Follow the evidence. Build the case. Let justice run its course. December 13th, Friday morning. Before I went to war, I'd tried peace. My wife Ellen used to say, always give people a chance to do the right thing. So I did. 9 o'clock. Tessa left for errands. I saw her Instagram, later boutique shopping in Cherry Creek. Colin was in the kitchen, scrolling his phone over coffee. I stood in the doorway. Colin, my study, we need to talk. His face changed instantly. Fear. Is everything okay? That's what I'm trying to figure out. In the study door closed, Colin sat across from my desk. I leaned against it, arms crossed, but not aggressive. trying to look approachable. Son, I know things have been financially tight for you and Tessa. He started to interrupt. I held up my hand. Let me finish. I'm not judging. I'm offering. If you're struggling, if there's something you need to tell me, this is your chance. We're family. This is a safe space. No judgment. Just honesty. I watched his face. Watched the war happen right there in real time. His hands gripped the chair arms. Knuckles white. His eyes filled with moisture. He opened his mouth. Closed it. Looked at the door, checking if Tessa was back. Swallowed hard. Took a breath like he was about to confess everything. Then he shook his head. Wiped his eyes quickly. Forced a smile. The moment passed. I saw it happen. Saw him choose the lie. Dad, I appreciate the offer. Really, but we're fine. Things are turning around. Tessa's business is starting to take off. We're looking at apartments. Should be out of your hair soon. He couldn't maintain eye contact while saying it. I tried once more. Are you sure? Because if there's anything about money, about debts, about pressure. I'm sure, Dad. His voice firmer now. Defensive. We've got it handled. He stood up. I should go. Tessa will be back soon. I sat there after he left, staring at the empty chair where my son had just lied to my face. I saw it. The fear in his eyes. Fear of Tessa. Fear of truth. Fear of consequences didn't matter. He chose the lie. He had his chance. His one chance. I tried to save him from himself. He wouldn't let me. Now I'd save myself from both of them. That's when I stopped being a father and became what I was trained to be, an investigator. December 13th, late afternoon. While Colin and Tessa went out for dinner, date night, Tessa announced cheerfully, I went to work. Not as a father anymore, as a fraud investigator. Fraud investigators follow the money. I'd spent 40 years tracking financial criminals. The tools hadn't changed. The skills hadn't dulled. This time the targets lived under my own roof. My study. 8 o'clock Friday night. Computer on multiple windows open. As home network administrator, I had their device passwords. They'd signed my acceptable use policy when they moved in, agreed without reading. I had access to the shared printer, the recycling bin, and documents left in common areas. All legal under Colorado homeowner rights. My approach was methodical. Start with what's visible. Work toward what's hidden. Coffee brewing. Long night ahead. What I found told me everything. Tessa's credit cards. She'd printed statements last month, assumed she'd deleted them. She hadn't. 5 cards under variations of her maiden name. Tessa Morgan T. Morgan Tessa L. Morgan. None disclosed her marital status. Combined balance $125,000. Minimum payments for 18 months. Spending patterns. Designer clothing. Spa treatments. Expensive restaurants. Colin's emails. He'd left his laptop open that morning. Careless. An email chain with Lance Bennett. Subject. We're out of time. Lance wrote, you said you'd handle this. I'm not going to prison because you got greedy, Colin replied. My dad will help. I just need to approach it right, Lance answered. You have until New Year's. After that, I'm taking this to the feds. Amount mentioned, $485,000. Bank statements in the recycling bin. Crumpled, discarded, smooth flat by me. A joint account. Monthly deposits 0. No income. Monthly spending $3,000 to $5,000. Restaurants $800. Shopping $1,500. Entertainment $700. A $650 car payment for a Tesla Model Y. Social media filled the gaps. Colin's last job application was 8 months ago. Tessa's Instagram was public. Photos from expensive restaurants, designer purchases, weekend trips. Living our best life, geotags Denver Aspen Vale. Physical evidence piled up, receipts in the trash. $240 at Matsuhisa, $180 at Elway's, shopping bags in their bedroom, Nordstrom, Saks. I built a spreadsheet. My monthly cost property taxes $375, utilities $300, insurance $150, groceries $600. My subsidy totaled $1,425 a month. They're spending $3,000 to $5,000 monthly on luxury items. Over 2.5 years, my contribution reached $35,000. Their spending exceeded $100,000. Their reported income, 0. The gap told the story. Someone was lying. They weren't struggling. They were performing. Poverty was theater. I was the audience. And the ATM. Saturday morning, December 14th. Breakfast. Tessa made Eggs Benedict with fresh squeezed orange juice. Another rejection email, she sighed. The job market is brutal. I watched her. You haven't applied in 8 months. We're trying so hard, Dad, Colin added. I smiled, sipped my coffee, said nothing. Good. Let them think I'm a fool. Saturday afternoon, I reviewed everything. Amateur evidence wouldn't hold up legally. I needed professionals. A lawyer to keep everything legal. A licensed financial investigator to find what I couldn't. I scrolled through contacts and stopped at Julia Donovan, attorney at law. I began drafting an email. By midnight, I knew 3 things. They were lying, they were spending, and they planned to make it my problem. Amateur proof wouldn't protect me. I needed this airtight. Monday morning, I'd make the calls, without hesitation or mercy. Thursday afternoon, December 19th, Lauren called. Mr. Brennan, I'm emailing you the report now. 43 pages. You'll want to sit down. I opened my laptop. The file loaded. I started reading. The first section was titled Hidden Assets. I felt my jaw tighten as I scrolled through it. Tessa had an offshore account in the Cayman Islands. $70,000 sitting there. Just sitting there while she cried poverty and asked me to pay for her dentist appointments. Then came the cryptocurrency. Bitcoin, Ethereum, $55,000 worth. Colin had told me last month he didn't understand crypto, didn't trust it. Apparently he trusted it enough to hide 55 grand in it. And the real gut punch Tessa's failed consulting business. The one she said went under in 2023. The one she'd mourned over at dinner, saying she'd lost everything. She hadn't lost anything. She'd sold it, $80,000. Never reported to the IRS, never mentioned to me. I did the math in my head. $205,000. They were sitting on over 200 grand while I paid for their groceries. Then I scrolled to the next section. Confirmed outstanding debts. Lance Bennett's business debt came first. $485,000. The one they wanted me to co-sign. The one Tessa called a family investment opportunity. Tessa's credit cards were next. 5 of them. All under variations of her maiden name so Colin wouldn't know. $125,000. I clicked through the transaction details Lauren had pulled. Bergdorf Goodman, Neiman Marcus, a Cartier bracelet for $6,000. She'd worn it to Christmas dinner last year and told me it was a vintage find from a thrift store. Then Colin's personal loans, $65,000. 3 different lenders, all taken out in the past 18 months while he lived in my house, rent-free. And finally, the car lease they'd both sworn they were staying on top of. The Tesla Model Y parked in my driveway, $35,000 overdue. The dealership had already started repossession proceedings. I sat back, stared at the screen. $710,000. They owed $710,000, and they'd hidden over $200,000 while asking me to save them. At the bottom of the page, Lauren had added one more number. My financial support over the past 2.5 years. Rent I'd never charge. Utilities, groceries, car insurance, medical bills. She'd tracked every penny I'd spent on them. $35,000. I'd given them $35,000 while they lied to my face. Lauren's note at the bottom was one sentence in bold. Mr. Brennan, this is theft. Premeditated and ongoing. You have everything you need for criminal charges and civil recovery. Call me when you're ready to move. I sat there for a long time, just staring. My hands were shaking. Not from fear, from rage. Upstairs, I could hear Tessa laughing on the phone, probably talking to Paige about Aspen again. On my laptop, I created a new folder. I named it Project Cleanup. Inside, I began organizing everything. Friday morning, December 20th. I bought a gift box, red cardboard gold trim. Looked expensive and elegant, perfect for what I had in mind. That afternoon, I drove to Howard Klein's notary office in Capitol Hill. Small place, diplomas on the wall. His notary seal sat on the desk like a gavel. Howard and I worked insurance fraud cases together back in the 90s. He'd gone into notary work after retirement. Quiet, precise. Exactly who I needed. I laid out the documents Julia had prepared. Howard read through them slowly, reading glasses perched on his nose. 90-day eviction notice. Will amendment establishing a trust with a 5-year financial responsibility clause. Revocation of Colin's limited medical power of attorney. IRS fraud report form 3949A, ready to file. Howard looked up at me over his glasses. Jeff, these are serious documents. This is your son, the son who's planning to defraud me out of $485,000 while hiding $205,000 of his own. Howard was quiet for a moment. Did you try talking to him? December 13th. He lied to my face. Howard sighed, picked up his seal. Then you're doing the right thing. The hard thing and the right thing are usually the same. He stamped each document, signed, dated, all official, all legal, all irreversible. I took the documents, slid them into a folder. Sunday night, December 22nd. Colin and Tessa were at the movies. I sat at my desk under the lamp, the red gift box open in front of me. I layered everything carefully. Bottom Lauren's 47-page financial investigation report, professionally bound, charts and graphs. Cover page, confidential financial investigation report, Brennan family unit. Middle, the legal documents from Julia and Howard. Eviction notice on top. Top layer, the irony, a toy calculator from the dollar store. Bright yellow plastic, giant buttons, and a children's book, My First Million Teaching Kids About Money. Found it at a used bookstore. Copyright 1997. Cartoon piggyback on the cover. I arranged them carefully, wrapped them in white tissue paper, tied a red silk ribbon into a bow. Looked expensive, like a real gift. I closed the lid, felt the weight, substantial. I carried it to the closet in my study, placed it behind old tax boxes from 2019, 2020, 21, hidden but accessible. Back at my desk, I picked up the family photo. Colin at 7 Little League uniform gap-toothed smile. I stared at it for a long time. Monday's the 23rd. They'll probably want their important conversation soon. Monday or Tuesday. Or maybe wait until Christmas Eve for maximum emotional leverage. I set the photo down. Doesn't matter when they make their move. I'm ready. No regret in my eyes, just cold resolve. The box sat in my closet, hidden behind 3 years of tax records. Waiting. I was ready. Patient. After 42 years investigating fraud, I'd learned one thing. Let the criminals make the first move, then crush them with evidence. I didn't have to wait long. December 23rd, Monday evening, 7 o'clock sharp. The dining room table looked perfect. Too perfect. Candles flickering, the good china I hadn't seen in months, roasted lamb in the air. Tessa had been cooking all day. This wasn't dinner. It was a performance, and I had a front row seat. Christmas lights twinkled outside. The table belonged in a magazine-pressed tablecloth, polished wine glasses, centerpiece lamb garlic, mashed potatoes, Brussels sprouts, fresh bread. Colin set down the wine bottle. His hands shook. I noticed. Tessa came in from the kitchen apron, off smiling. Jeff, I hope you're hungry. I wanted tonight to be special. I took the head of the table and watched. Special. The word con artists use before asking for money. I unfolded my napkin. Tessa and Colin sat across from each other. Me at the head. A triangle. The first 15 minutes were small talk, carefully neutral. Weather, sports, neighbors' Christmas lights. What they avoided was obvious money jobs, the future moving out. I noticed details. Tessa kept touching Colin's hand, a controlling gesture. Colin barely ate, pushing food around his plate. Tessa's smile was too bright, too practiced. They kept exchanging looks, silent signals. I played my part. Tessa, this is excellent. You outdid yourself. She beamed. Only the best for family. Family. That word always comes before a request. After dinner, Tessa cleared plates and returned with coffee, an expensive Ethiopian blend I hadn't bought. She poured 3 cups and sat down. Her smile softened, then sharpened. Jeff, there's something Colin and I need to talk to you about. Colin shifted, cleared his throat. I set my cup down. I'm listening. They exchanged a glance. She nodded. This was rehearsed. Colin spoke, voice stiff, scripted. Dad, we need to be honest. Things have been harder than we let on, financially. He blamed timing, the economy, opportunities that didn't work. His confidence grew as he talked. We cut expenses, sent out hundreds of applications, talked to banks and investors. You haven't applied in 8 months? But we've hit a wall. If we don't act, we'll lose everything. Tessa took over, smooth and calm. What Colin means is we need help consolidating business debt. She pulled a leather folder from the sideboard and slid it toward me. With your credit and the equity in this house, you could help us restructure into something manageable. I opened it slowly. Loan documents, $485,000. The cosigner line was highlighted. A sticky note pointed to it. Sign here. Tessa leaned forward. We'll pay you back. Every penny. This just buys time. She smiled thinly. After all you've done, this is only extending that help. Colin stared at the floor. Sign before New Year's, Tessa said. That's what family does. The clock ticked. I looked at them, then closed the folder. There it was. The trap. The con complete. I stood. Tessa's smile widened. She thought I wanted a pen. Colin looked up, hope and fear mixed. I walked past them toward the Christmas tree. Interesting proposal, I said. I have something for you, too. An early Christmas present. I reached behind the tree, took the red box with gold trim, and returned to the table. I placed it in front of Tessa. I could hear my own heartbeat, steady and calm, as years of experience settled in, reminding me that patience, silence, and timing were weapons sharper than anger in moments like this now finally. Open it. Tessa's smile widened as she reached for the box. She loved gifts. She had no idea this one would end her. She pulled it closer, felt the weight. This is heavy. What is it? I sat calmly. Open it. Colin watched uneasy. Something felt wrong. Tessa untied the ribbon, lifted the lid. Tissue paper rustled. She pulled out a bright yellow plastic toy calculator with oversized buttons. She frowned. What is this? Keep going. Next came a children's book. My first million teaching kids about money. Cartoon piggy bank. Copyright 1997. Her smile collapsed. Jeff, I don't understand. Is this a joke? Colin took the book, read the back, went pale. Dad, there's more. Tessa dug deeper and pulled out a thick-bound stack of papers. 47 pages. Professional. She read aloud, each word quieter. Financial Investigation Report, Brennan Family Unit. Prepared by Lauren Blake, licensed financial investigator. December 19, 2024. Confidential. Color drained from her face. Colin snatched the file, flipping pages fast. His emails with Lance Bennett, screenshots of Tessa's credit cards, bank records, receipts from their trash, Instagram posts, LinkedIn screenshots, spending analysis. He stopped on page 15. Read aloud, shaking. Hidden assets identified $205,000, $70,000 offshore, $55,000 crypto, $80,000 unreported income. How did you... I was a fraud investigator for 42 years, I said evenly. Following money is my job. Tessa snapped. You spied on us. This is illegal. In my house. On my network. Devices under my usage policy. You signed it. My attorney reviewed everything. Legal. Colin turned another page. Notice of termination of residency. Effective December 23rd. Vacate by March 23rd. 90 days. Tessa leapt up. You're evicting us. I'm reclaiming my house. Colin read the next document. Last Will and Testament Amendment. He scanned. Trust accessible only after 5 consecutive years of documented financial responsibility. You cut me out, he whispered. I gave you a path back. 5 years. Steady work. Debt reduction. Transparency. Tessa grabbed another page. IRS Form 3949A. Submitted December 20th. You reported us. I reported unreported income. The IRS will decide. Colin buried his face in his hands. Tessa stood, rigid papers crumpling. I placed my phone on the table. Before explanations, listen. I pressed play. Tessa's recorded voice filled the room. We'll frame it as helping family. Jeff won't say no. Predictable. 485,000 before New Year's? Laughter. You're terrible, another woman said. I'm practical. Silence followed. Colin stared at Tessa, shattered. Was this all a setup? Colorado is one-party consent, I said. Legal. I have 17 more recordings. Tessa sputtered protest. I stood. You have 90 days to leave. The IRS is investigating. Creditors know about the assets. Lance Bennett received the report this morning. My will is filed. 5 years or the trust goes to charity. I paused. Questions? None. Colin sobbed quietly. Tessa stared, stone-faced. You can't do this to your son, she said. I didn't. You did. Colin looked up. But I'm your son. And I gave you a chance. December 13th, I asked for honesty. You lied. I walked to my study. Behind me, Tessa screamed. Colin stayed silent. I closed the door, poured scotch, sat down. My hands were steady, my conscience clear. I opened my book and read. I'd done what had to be done. December 24th, Christmas Eve morning. The house was silent when I came downstairs. Then I saw them waiting in the kitchen. 7 a.m. I was making coffee. Colin and Tessa sat at the table. Same clothes as last night. Red eyes. No sleep. Tessa spoke first, still trying to control the moment. Jeff, we need to talk, calmly. I poured my coffee without turning around. I'm listening. Colin's voice was hoarse. Dad, we'll move out. Voluntarily. Before the 90 days. We'll be gone by the end of January. Just, please withdraw the IRS report. I turned and leaned against the counter. I filed Form 3949A. The IRS decides whether to investigate. I can't stop it. Even if I wanted to, and I don't. Tessa's tone sharpened. What about the will? We can negotiate. A payment plan. We'll repay the $35,000. 5 years, steady employment, debt reduction, full transparency, non-negotiable. Colin broke. Dad, please. I'm your only son. Mom wouldn't have wanted this. My voice went cold. Don't bring your mother into this. She'd be ashamed of what you tried to do to me. He flinched. Tessa shifted to threats. We could sue. Illegal search. Invasion of privacy, our lawyer said. Your lawyer will tell you the truth. You have no case. You lived in my house, used my network, signed my policies. Julia Donovan reviewed everything. It's airtight. Sue if you want. Burn what's left on legal fees. I'll watch. I took my coffee and left. Christmas Day, silent. No gifts. No celebration. I stayed in my study. I heard Colin on the phone with the new lawyer. We can't fight the eviction. The notice is valid. The evidence was legal. There's nothing we can do. How much would it cost to try silence? We don't have that kind of money. December 26th. Julia called. Colin contacted Adam Brooks's firm. Brooks won't take the case. No grounds. Howard texted you, holding up I'm fine. They're learning consequences, I replied. December 27th. Morning. Tessa screamed upstairs. They froze all my cards. Colin, how? Your father did this. I had sent formal notices. Accounts opened under her maiden name without disclosure. Fraud. That afternoon, the phone rang. Colin answered. Lance, how did you... Lance's voice carried. Anonymous tip with detailed financials. We know about the offshore account, the crypto, the 80,000. We're filing for asset seizure. Click. Colin stared at the phone. December 28th, mail arrived. 3 envelopes. Bank asset seizure initiated. IRS investigation open tax year 2024. Tesla financial final notice before repossession. Tessa snapped. This is all your father's fault. Colin said quietly, No. It's ours. We lied. We stole. We planned to rob him. She hardened. I'm not taking the fall alone. Colin looked at her. I was weak for a long time. December 29th. Apartment searches. Aurora. Commerce City. Everything required income verification. Rejections. They found one place, month to month. $1,800 a month. 3 months up front. They didn't have it. Colin said we need the offshore account. Tessa protested. That's emergency money. Lance will seize it anyway. Fine, she snapped. Take it. December 30th. Boxes appeared. Packing began. Tessa packed in silence. Colin packed slowly, stopping at memories. That evening, he knocked on my study door. We're leaving tomorrow. Early, he said. I'm sorry. I became someone I don't recognize. Did she make you do it? I asked. He couldn't answer. Ask me about forgiveness in 5 years, I said, if you change. That's a long time. So it was 2.5 years of lying. He nodded. I love you. I said nothing. That night, I heard him crying. Heard Tessa hiss at him to stop. Heard packing tape rip a life dismantling. I read until midnight. Tomorrow they'd be gone. I'd be alone in this house for the first time in 2.5 years. I turned off the light and slept. No dreams, no guilt. Just sleep. December 31st, last morning of the year. 8 o'clock sharp. The moving truck pulled up outside. I stood at my study window and watched 2 men step out and open the back. This was it, the end. They started loading. Colin and Tessa carried boxes in silence, methodical, efficient. Tessa's face was stone. She never looked back at the house. Colin kept glancing toward the front door. I considered going outside, saying goodbye, offering final words. I decided against it. Everything that mattered had already been said. Furniture disappeared first. Their bed dresser, Tessa's expensive espresso machine. Cardboard boxes labeled in marker kitchen, bedroom, bathroom. In one box, I saw Colin's old baseball glove. A 10th birthday gift. The final load went in. The movers closed the truck and latched it. Tessa climbed into the passenger seat and slammed the door. Colin stood in the driveway, staring at the house. I watched. His shoulders slumped. He looked up toward my study window. Our eyes met through the glass. A long moment passed. His lips formed the words, I'm sorry. I didn't react, didn't nod, just stood there. Colin looked down, walked to the truck, climbed into the driver's seat. The truck pulled away, turned the corner, and was gone. I walked downstairs and through the house. Their bedroom was empty except for dust outlines where furniture had stood. The carpet still held indentations. The closet was bare hangers dangling. Curtains they'd hung were left behind. A faint trace of Tessa's perfume lingered. The bathroom was stripped clean. No expensive skincare, just white tile and a bare counter. My footsteps echoed. The kitchen felt larger. No espresso machine. The refrigerator was emptier. The silence pressed in. The living room showed dents where their couch had been a lighter patch where the television hung. Familiar, but altered. For 2.5 years, this house hadn't been entirely mine. I'd adjusted my routines around them. Now it was mine again. Too big, too quiet. Near the front door, something lay on the floor, a photograph face down. I picked it up. Colin, 7 years old, Little League uniform, gap-toothed grin, dirt on his cheek, holding a baseball proudly. The memory returned summer 1995, Mile High Stadium. His first game. He caught a foul ball, ice cream afterward, chocolate smeared across his face. Best day ever, Dad. He slept in his car seat, on the drive home, baseball clutched in his hand. I stared at the photo. When did he change, or was I blind for too long? I sat on the bottom stair, photo in hand, staring at the empty house. I'd won. The house was mine. My savings protected. Legal safeguards in place. The IRS would investigate. Creditors would pursue. So why did it feel like I'd lost everything that mattered? I thought about Colin. Could I have saved him? Seen the signs sooner, or was he lost the moment he chose deception over honesty? No answers. Maybe one day he'll return with proof. Steady work debts paid real change. Or maybe I'll never see my son again. I looked at the photo once more. Protecting yourself isn't cruelty, it's survival. And Tessa, she'll move on to another target, another family. That's what predators do. I documented it. I stopped it here. I couldn't save anyone else. The phone rang. Howard Klein. Jeff, you holding up? I'm managing. Denise made lasagna. We've got people coming over tonight. You're coming. I hesitated. I don't know if I'm good company. You did the right thing, and you don't need to be alone. I opened my desk drawer and placed Colin's photo inside. Not discarded, just put away. I closed the drawer and looked around the house. This is the price of integrity. This is what boundaries look like. I put on my jacket, stepped into Denver's cold winter sun, locked the door behind me, got into my car, and drove away. Somewhere in this city, my son is learning what consequences feel like. Maybe one day he'll understand, maybe not. But I'm free, and that has to be enough. If you're listening to one of those grandpa stories and thinking it could never happen to you, let me tell you something. I thought that too. I was a fraud investigator for 42 years. I knew every con, every scheme, every lie, and my own son still almost got me. This is a true story. Every dollar, every document, every betrayal. Real. So here's my advice. Don't be like me. Don't ignore the warning signs because you love someone. I saw Tessa's manipulation for months. I told myself it was just her personality. I was wrong. Don't wait until you're backed into a corner. I gave Colin a chance on December 13th to tell the truth. He chose the lie. By then I'd already lost him. Act sooner. Don't let guilt keep you hostage. People told me, but he's your son. Family forgives. God gave us wisdom for a reason. Boundaries aren't cruelty. They're survival. Even the Bible says, do not be deceived. Bad company corrupts good character. I learned that the hard way. Here's what I learned from this true story, and I pray to God you never have to learn it the way I did. First, protect yourself. It's not selfish. If I'd signed that loan, I'd be bankrupt now, at 65, with nothing. Second, some people don't want to change. Tessa will find another victim. Colin might wake up in 5 years, or he might not. I can't control that. I can only control my boundaries. Third, doing the right thing costs something. I'm free, but I'm alone. On New Year's Eve, I sat in my friend Howard's house and thought about Colin as a little boy. I thank God I still had my home, my savings, my dignity, but I'd be lying if I said it didn't hurt. You know what makes Grandpa stories like this different from fiction? They're warnings written in real pain. This is a true story that could save you. Trust is earned, not given, even to family, especially to family. I sleep soundly now, my conscience is clear. God knows I tried to save him, but in the end I could only save myself, and that's enough. What would you have done in my place? Have you ever had to choose between family and self-protection? Share your story in the comments below. Maybe your experience can help someone else. If this moved, you hit that subscribe button and share it with someone who needs to hear it. Most grandpa stories teach us about life through experience. This one might save yours. Don't wait until it's too late to set boundaries. Don't wait until someone you love tries to destroy you. Learn from my mistakes. That's why I'm sharing this true story with you today.